Hey folks, welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville coming to you from Wellington, New Zealand. So today I thought I'd do a lesson on probably one of my top 10 favourite guitar players. Someone I haven't talked about much on this channel. I've kind of focused more on jazz fusion, funk, that kind of stuff. But I mean, he's really such an influence on me, like in terms of tone, phrasing, all those things. So I thought, big topic to talk about David Gilmour, but I thought what I'd talk about is particularly his playing on the song Another Brick in the Wall. So let's dive into that today. Right, so first thing to do, let's talk about the rhythm guitar parts. First one we need to talk about is the Strat part. So to me, it's clearly this pickup here, right? Those two pickups, it just has that sound, right? Clean tone, sounds like a deluxe reverb, maybe something like that. Very slight reverb, like that. Now, when I first learned it, that's how I learned it. Well, I don't hear that note in there, I just hear... So it's a D minor chord, but I don't hear the D in it. It's just like the top half of it. And it goes... So down, up, down. And then... Down, up, down, up. The thing I find with the way a lot of people play that rhythm part is they tend to either attack it too hard or not enough. It's like right in the middle. Right, that's kind of one of the main parts. And then there's a second guitar part which is actually playing... To me, it doesn't sound like a Strat. It sounds more like it could be his P90 Les Paul, which he used on the solo, but we'll talk about that later on. Bridge pickup, probably. Right, that's just D, E, F, right? 3 notes. And it just follows the vocal melody. Now the thing is with that guitar part, it's not heavily distorted, it's just a little bit, right? And then when we get to the next chord, which is a G chord, again, I don't hear this low G on it. It sounds like it's just the top half of it. There's two guitar parts. There's one that's going... And the thing I've noticed about the way David Gilmour plays these is he's not playing them exactly the same every time. Like one bar will be slightly different. So what I'm doing is kind of averaging it out over the whole thing, right? So there's one doing that, top half of a G chord, and there's another one playing this voicing up here, right? Which is the top half of a C-based voicing. So if we take C and we move it along here to G, right? C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. It's this G. Drop the bottom note and just have the top notes, and it's going. Now the hard thing with that is you can't pick it too hard. You pick it too hard and it just sounds wrong. It's really light. But as soon as you go light, your pick's going to move around a little bit. And underneath that you go... Right, and then... And we're back to this triad thing that happens next. I did a little video short on how this works. People seem to like it, so that's partly what inspired this video. But it's a D minor triad, a C triad, right? So basically top half of a D minor chord, top half of a C chord, and then G, right? G, F. Right, so it's D, C triad, D minor triad, C, G triad, like a D shape, F. So it's... Right, and then... So there's a clean rhythm part doing what I just played, right, which is very similar to the bit that happens on the G chord, but it's F, and again, just the top half. I don't hear the bottom note in it. C, bottom note could be in now, I'm not totally sure. So D minor, and then there's a distorted guitar part that goes. So on, right? And that bit to me again sounds like it could be the P90 guitar. It's a little bit thicker and fuller sounding than Strat. I'm not totally sure though. Right, and then we get to the guitar solo, probably the best bit of the whole song if you ask me. Now he played this on a Les Paul with P90s. It's the most famous Stratocaster guitar solo of all time that wasn't actually a Strat, right? He played it on a P90 equipped guitar. So I'm going to swap over to that now. Okay, so I've swapped over to a P90 equipped guitar. It's interesting, I've heard David Gilmour plenty of times play this solo live, and when he plays it live, he just plays it on a Strat. So clearly he was using a P90 guitar to try and sound like a Strat. So you can make it work with a Strat if that's what you have. But I have a guitar with really nice P90s in it. So the whole thing of the solo is it's kind of built around D minor pentatonic, but it's not blues. You wouldn't say it's blues, although it's bluesy. So the first phrase. Now I'm going to play this kind of my way of playing it, because I've noticed when Gilmour plays this live, he plays it differently every single time. It's not exactly the same. It's playing the same set of notes, but with different phrasing, whatever. If you want the exact phrasing like the album, go and listen to the album. But this is kind of my way of doing it, kind of built off a bunch of live versions and built off that album version. So the first phrase, right? I've also heard him go. So something along those lines. Be your first phrase, and then one of my favourite things is the next lick. So tasty. And again, it takes it out of being that blues thing because he's bending up to an E note. It's not pentatonic. Something like that. And then this bit is very blues-like. So it's kind of double stop Chuck Berry type thing. All over a D minor chord. Right? And then he leaves a huge big pause right here, which I love all the gaps that he leaves. Really hard to do that, right? So this little sweep across an A minor. And my second favourite lick. So we're going from a D, C, D. So that 3-fret bend in there takes quite a bit of strength. And then he plays something like this. I don't know exactly what he plays, but this is the way I've always done it. Something like that. Can't say exactly what those are, but there's something along those lines. So anyway, you get the idea. And then bend up from the 13th to the 15th fret, C to a D. Again, those multiple step bends. Right, and then. Right. That's again that A minor arpeggio sweep. So you sweep your pick across it. Right, all good stuff. And then we're bending from a B flat up to a C. Right, up to the D note, and then right back to first position pentatonic, kind of bluesy. And something along those lines, right? And the thing I've got from that is I don't always play it the same way twice, but when I play my own kind of versions of it, like I'll put this over the top of songs, and it might be something like that's all over a static D minor. So the cool thing with it is you can borrow those licks. Right, good. So I've kind of taken his idea and kind of made it my own. I could go, so we're in A minor. So there I just took it, moved it to another key, and I did his bend up a step, bend up 2 steps kind of approach. So you're getting that 3 fret bend. So you can see how we can kind of take his ideas and build our own ideas. And that's really what I'm interested in any guitar solo or anything really that I learn, chords, whatever. It's not so much necessarily about the part. I learn the part and then I kind of adapt it to figure out how it works and how I can make it my own, so that when I play and I'm on a gig, I can play these things. No doubt if you've come to any of my gigs, you'll hear that the David Gilmour influence is there, right? Hopefully you get that. You know, in terms of tone, I definitely think like him, and phrasing, I try to think like him, leaving those gaps and the bending and different stuff. Anyway, hope you found this useful. That was a quick look at Another Brick in the Wall. We could go more in depth with David Gilmour stuff. If you want me to, let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to kind of do more of this stuff on Guitar Daily, because I haven't really talked about Gilmour much, and I should. It's one of my big influences, like I mentioned. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do. That's really useful, and please like the video. I'm here every day, so if you've already subscribed, thank you very much, and thanks for being part of this community, my Guitar Daily thing on YouTube. Cheers.